2008, 17 years ago, when perhaps being queer was not even a part of everyday conversation, what made you start Gaysi?
Because I don't have a, chudi todne wali type dukhi coming out story. I think we are trending right now, so everybody wants a little bit of piece of us.
Yeah.
We had actor Imran Khan come and attend that event,
My
which was
God.
again was like wow, and he was like the very in thing.
I'm sure. What does being queer mean to you beyond gender and sexuality? Brands exploit the queer community, especially when it's Pride Month and you see a lot of rainbow washing and...
That's a very heavy question.
मतलब politics में आ ही जाओ अभी, help with policy change and advocacy also.
ये मेरे बचपन का सपना है.
हाँ.
It has taken me many years first to convince my family, but it's not as easy given the current situations around us, the current political environment also around us for that matter.
A queer icon that you'd love to have dinner with?
I think I'll go out for dinner with.
Hi, this is Pooja and thank you for tuning into InControversial. Thank you each time that you comment, share, like, and more than that, subscribe. It means so much to me. Before being queer was a conversation, she was building a community. Before safe spaces became buzzwords, she was building one for thousands of queer desis. The co-founder of Gaysi, a platform that celebrates queer stories, identity, rebellion, and everything in between. A dog mom, self-confessed keto queen, badminton champion, and the start of 1,000 conversations. Please welcome Sakshi Juneja. Hi Sakshi, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
And before anything else, congratulations on Gaysi turning 17.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That is absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Before I even get into everything and more that Gaysi does, I really want to ask, 2008, 17 years ago, when perhaps being queer was not even a part of everyday conversation like it is today, what made you start Gaysi?
A breakup. A
No way.
heartbreak. Honestly, it was a heartbreak. So I was already into blogging, and back in 2008, I would say blogging was perhaps pretty much the initial step to what we know as social media today, right?
Yeah.
So I used to blog under my own name. I had come back from Australia, I was making friends, and I found blogging to be means for making friends. Met somebody through some other things, and we always, both of us, used to discuss that perhaps, we should have a blog where us lesbians could have conversation, just share what we go through, etc., what it means to be a lesbian in India.
Yeah.
And वो बातें ही रह गई, फिर breakup हो गया. फिर मैंने घर पे बोला कि मुझे 2 महीने की छुट्टी चाहिए. Come from a privileged space, I could say that. I said नहीं तो मैं तो डिप्रेशन में चले जाऊँगे. And बेचारे डर गए. They said ठीक है, जाओ आप. And I remember, and I was in New York sitting at a cafe, and I was like, you know what, okay, let's just do this. And I opened a blog. And I'm not sure if I gave it a name then. And I had this other lesbian friend who was sitting in London. She was living with her partner then, again Indian woman, moved from Bombay to London. And I was like, will you come on board and help me for this? And she said, theek hai. And that's how it started. And I think we dabbled a little bit with the name, and then we came up with Gaysi, which is Gay Desi. So yeah, we kind of merged it together and made it Gaysi.
I didn't know this till now.
Yeah. So yeah, the Gay Desi. And the rest, they say, is history. So
it's funny that you said it was a breakup that sort of got you to start with Gaysi. I actually thought it had something to do with your own coming out journey. What was that all about then?
To be honest, I've been one of those fortunate people, but on the other end, not fortunate because I don't have a हाथ चूड़ी तोड़ने वाली type दुखी coming out story.
Drama
because mine is very I think my family environment was also such that I got away with a lot of things as the youngest in the house. So with me it was like, okay, boys I can only like this much, but girls I can like that much. And I just went with the flow. So that was pretty much my childhood. Obviously I had the awareness that I can't speak out loud.
Yeah.
But, I did not even carry the trauma part of it
Yeah.
with me, and that kind of just went effortlessly.
But what has been Gaysi's journey the last 17 years? Obviously, you didn't start off with a business plan. It was clearly a blog. But you've gone on to do a lot more work in this space, in building this platform, in working with corporates. So tell us everything that Gaysi does.
So, in terms of back then, to be honest, for the longest time, it was just organically whatever was coming my way. And I kind of lapped it up and took, tried to make most of those opportunities. Till almost 2018, there was never a plan. Someone said, "Acha, ye kar lete," so I was like, "Okay, chalo kar lete hain."
Yeah.
Someone said, "Ye kar lete," I said, "Chalo kar lete hain." The planning part of it came in, I would say, in 2018 with Tinder, which is before the 377 verdict also happened later in the year, in September. And they were, in fact, the first brand that said, "Okay, you know what, we want to invest in the community space. Tell us what you want to do." And I always joke with them saying, "You spoilt us," because the kind of platform you gave us, kind of, where it was more like, "Okay, we are there as just there to give you money."
Yeah.
And you do what you think is good for the community, and we will support you in it. So that then gave an encouragement saying, "Okay, you know what? Brand work is something perhaps we can do."
Yeah.
Then I got more people involved, and then that also became a good showcase for me to show it to other brands that, okay, look at a brand like a Tinder is investing in us. How about you invest in us? And slowly that happened. And then obviously you also had different forms of social media, like your Facebooks and your Instagrams.
Yeah.
Till the next trending segment, community space or niche space comes. I
Yeah.
think we are trending right now, so everybody wants a little bit of piece of us.
Yeah.
And you can see that, like today at Gaysi we even, and personally also, like I consult a couple of filmmakers on what kind of queer narratives, like involving ourselves from scratch to the end product.
Yeah.
Then again, working with brands who come to us saying that we have no idea, you lead us, how do we go into the queer space, to doing DEI initiatives where we kind of not only work in kind of making their product or service queer inclusive, but also their workplace inclusive.
Okay.
So behind the scene kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
so we are consulting brands on that also, corporate
Yeah.
spaces on that also. We are very pop culture driven. We are very performative art driven.
It's clearly a lot that you do.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said pop culture, because, I mean, in the last 17 years, we're talking about a time which is technically even before Instagram and social media became the norm. You pretty much set the blueprint for Desi pop culture.
I mean, I would like to take the credit for that. No, I mean, again, you are in Bombay, and I think at times things just align for you. Like, I still remember our first open mic. This was, I think, 2012. And I still remember it was a crazy night. Like, we were hoping 50, 60 people would show up. We had 150 people in this pub on top of each other. Everyone from queer men to women to trans, like probably everybody. Because for everyone it was like, wow. And open mic hai. Open mic mein kabhi itne log nahi aate. But we had people fighting to come and perform. And it was chaos. It was chaos as one could not even imagine. And we had actor Imran Khan come and attend that event.
My
which
God.
was like, wow. And he was like the very in thing.
I'm sure back then, yeah.
So a team member who was back then working with us, and a family friend of hers, and she said, "No, you have to come." The poor guy was flying down from Hyderabad, came straight. So usko dekh ke bhi wahan pe people were like, wow, And I think that kind of made at least me feel that, wow, like this can happen, like we can do these things.
I really want to ask, what does being queer mean to you, beyond gender and sexuality?
That's a very heavy question. I think what I would look at queerness today with my experience over the years and also being part of a community space. You know, आजकल तो सभी community word तो ऐसे use हो जाता है. But you know, again coming from a time where there was no word, like we never said community. You know, हमने सबने मिलके चालू किया ये word. But I think it's more about how fluid you are as a person, right? It's not about boxing yourself. It's not about boxing your notions, your ideas, your mindset. I think that's what perhaps queer means.
In building a community like that, what's been the biggest challenge in building a safe space for Desi queer folks in South Asia?
See, money is the biggest challenge, right? See, like for example, even in a city like Bombay, you don't have a cafe or a bar or a club or a space besides the NGOs where queer people can just drop in during the day and hang. We don't have a single space like that.
But why do you need a dedicated space for queer people? If the idea is to mainstream and normalize, then you can just walk in anywhere, right?
But every space, everywhere you need your own space. You need a little, like a social space where you can kind of come together. Not that you have to constantly plan, right?
Okay.
कि ये event हो रहा है तो I have to coincide with that event. चलो, at least in a city like Bombay, Delhi, and even Bangalore perhaps, these events, these curated social spaces take place more frequently.
Yeah.
But look at other cities जहाँ पे नहीं होता, right? Like we get so many emails at times of queer people who are visiting Bombay from outside or even from different parts of India where they are like कि हम और queer लोगों को कहाँ मिले? And there's like, sorry, you know, you have to wait for an event to happen. Otherwise कहाँ मिलेंगे? आप मतलब you can't just walk into another
I think
club,
therein
right?
lies your next business opportunity, no?
वो तो है.
Matchmaking
What do you
service
think?
for
What makes you think नहीं है मेरे plan में? Now not every social space gives you that space, or is safe enough for you to be able to express yourself like that, right?
Yeah.
So many times, like we've seen it in our parties, etc., or even in our bigger scale events, etc., where queer people come just before entering a space, they go to the washroom, they get ready there, and in their flamboyant, crazy, fun self, they enter that space, and when they are leaving, they again have to dress down and then leave, right? So these kind of things, one has to be so mindful and so calculated, which is a sad part, right? So while we all want to aspire to have a world where, you know, हमको ये सब चीजें नहीं सोचनी पड़ेगी, but the fact of the matter is right now है ऐसी दुनिया, you know, and how can we make best of what is there right now, is the way we have to work.
In all the work that you do in the D&I space and working with corporates and brands, do you really think that corporates or Indian society in general is becoming more inclusive, or is it just tokenism and surface level acceptance? Because one hears of so many not so pleasant stories, right?
To be honest, I think it all starts from that. And today with the vast experience that we have with brands, I mean, we are a for-profit. We've worked only with brands. We don't apply for grants or trusts, etc. What my understanding of it has been that it's not always that person you're talking to on the other side is phobic or hates you. They just lack the understanding. They just don't have the knowledge, or they are perhaps a little ignorant, right? Now it's up to you how much you're ready to invest yourself in educating, in showing them the direction, and being patient enough to give them their space to figure it out also. And this goes not only just in the brand space, I'm talking about even with families, right? As a queer person, there are multiple approaches you can take. You can be one, either you can be like, you know, I don't give a damn. There is Google, please educate yourself and then come to me. Or it could be, you know what, I'll meet you halfway. You figure a bit, I'll tell you a bit, I'll show you the resource, but you should also
make the effort.
Exactly. That. And the third is, you know what, I'm pissed off. I don't care. You know, you are hoping.
Let me be.
Exactly. But I think because our work is such we have to be a little patient. I feel there is a constant negotiation, especially when it comes to brands, of how much they are ready to give, how much we are ready to give, places where we do put our foot down. Then you have brands like Tinder, which is like, ले लो, आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो सही है. You know, but I would still like to give people the benefit of doubt. Ki their life has been such, or their workplace has been such where, you know, they were not exposed to certain conversations. So I don't really expect them to come with the kind of knowledge and understanding that we as queer people dabble in day out. So I feel if you make room, people come around. When tomorrow some of them go join another organization, right? And then they become your good spokesperson, they become the initiator in those organizations. So I think it's good to invest in people.
That's good, but do you think that brands exploit the queer community, especially when it's Pride Month and you see a lot of rainbow washing and
I think
logo changes on social media
handles? I think
handles?
It's okay. To be honest, I'm okay with that. It just helps us create more noise. And I'm looking at a trajectory of 17 years, you know, coming from a place जहाँ language भी नहीं थी हमारे पास, right? To today, a place where उनको समझ भी नहीं है, पर at least logo change कर लेते हैं, right? Now that is out of pressure because again, want to be trending, want to be cool. जो भी I would still take it. But what one also needs to understand is that today queer people are also smart. Right?
They always were.
And no, as in the sense, we are now more like that gullible. Right? We know कि कौन Pride Month में सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए खड़ा हुआ है.
Correct.
और कौन mean करता है. Right? So I think so. Let people do the brands whatever they want to do, but queer people figure it out themselves only how much of it they should be believing or not believing. But would I say कि नहीं करना चाहिए and all? I'll still say take it. You know, they'll start somewhere. Like I said, a lot of times it starts from tokenism. It starts from the pressure because everybody else in their industry is doing it, so they also need to do it. Then trying to make a little more effort and trying to understand the community space and doing better.
And I mean, is there something that you think the queer community itself needs to confront more honestly?
It's a tricky question if you ask me. See, मतलब लोगों के लिए we all are one, but if you look inside, we are not one, right? We are so many different smaller communities coming together under one umbrella. And it's like any household. झगड़े होंगे, प्यार भी होगा, झगड़े भी होंगे, अन बनेगी. Sometimes you will not get the other and things like that, right? So I feel those things are not going to go away, and because our space is also so dynamic, and the more access to resource, the more safe spaces we create, the more understanding people will have of themselves and of this community space. And the community is only going to evolve more and more and more, and things are also साथ में going to get complicated more and more and more. Right? So I think what one, especially queer people, perhaps need to look at is, again, look at things in a more empathetic manner. This is the only thing I feel will help us still stay together. Because again, I'm saying things will only get a little more and more complicated.
Just a matter of time,
with more and more understanding and more and more people coming out, right?
More
and
awareness, more conversations, more complications.
A middle class lesbian cis woman. I'm also a Bombay-based middle class lesbian woman. I'm also fully able-bodied, right? Now, when you add different parameters to your gender and sexuality, you are a different queer person in itself.
Totally.
So therefore, you need to create these spaces. Like it's amazing to see conversations around the queer Dalit community, right? Then you have Rafael, who's doing amazing work with the Queer Muslim Project, where there's conversation around queer Muslims and what it means to be in India. You know, like that. You have like queer collectives that are sitting in Assam and talking about the Northeast queer community. Y'all, Saddam is running that space. Amazing work. So, I mean, you have to allow in yourself, and perhaps if you are in a place of power, to allow to let these other little communities, conversations to thrive. So I think as queer people, we need to just try to make room for that.
साक्षी, एक बात बताओ, फॉर प्रॉफिट बिजनेस भी शुरू कर लिया, कॉर्पोरेट्स के साथ काम करती हो, you consult on queer scripts and the narratives in films and stuff like that. मतलब पॉलिटिक्स में आ ही जाओ अभी, हेल्प विद पॉलिसी चेंज एंड एडवोकेसी आल्सो.
ये मेरे बचपन का सपना है. It has taken me many years first to convince my family. I think I'm still convincing them. I think coming out to them was much easier.
Than telling them that you want to get into politics?
Yeah, and even my
girlfriend. And be the torchbearer for policy change.
Even with my girlfriend, like from the time we started dating, I always like threw that part to her that, you know, eventually I want to get into politics, and she's like, nahi, you know, then I don't think this is going anywhere. Sadly, because it's been given such a bad name, right? But to be very honest, I mean, I'm not saying I want to stand for elections, but I want to be, at least my aspiration, my next aspiration is that that to be involved with government bodies where you can impact policies. Anish Gawande is a beautiful prime example for that. Even Mario for that matter. But what I've also come to understand over the years is that there is only so much you can ask of others and seek from others and be dependent on others. So you have to be at times part of certain systems and certain spaces in order to...
You have to be in the system to change the system.
Exactly.
And you've got to walk the talk. And I mean, if we talk about gay characters or queer characters playing queer roles, then I think we need queer leaders.
But it's not as easy, given the current situations around us, the current political environment also around us for that matter. But I feel that if today 3-4 of us also get in, maybe 10 years there'll be 10, you know, and so on and so forth. And again, it's all about visibility, like. So hopefully, fingers are crossed. मैंने 2027 assign किया हुआ है.
Well done, you. Well done. Good luck on that.
Thank you.
But I think अभी एक rapid fire कर ही लेते हैं. A queer icon that you'd love to have dinner with?
I think I'll go out for dinner with Reema Katki. Yeah, there's one more, but I don't think she's out, so I can't name.
Okay. A stereotype that you wish people would stop believing about queer people?
I think stereotypes also exist for a reason, and वो stereotypes नहीं होते तो आज हमें इतनी visibility भी नहीं होती. So I don't want to diss any stereotypes. I would say let stereotypes also exist because they gave us a lot of visibility what we have to do.
मतलब inclusivity तो कूट-कूट के भरी हुई है ना? All right. One thing straight people need to stop doing?
Like stop catching on our fashion and all that, you know. Let's just hire us to do it. Khud mat karo. We do a better job.
All right. Okay. A Gaysi post that you still think about?
Oh God, this is a little controversial one, which is on politics. I think 2 years ago, we put up a post on April Fool's Day. Put up a post saying that that I was asked to step down from Gaysi because I decided to join a national party, which I don't want to name here. And that kind of created a massive chaos online. I had people calling me up to ask, is this true? I had my sister-in-law send me a screenshot asking, is this true? So much so I had midday calling me up to take my points, and I'm like, this is an April Fool's Day, because there are a lot, it's very evident from the post, it's an April Fool's Day, but it was crazy on how far and wide it had reached on just that.
So mission accomplished with an April Fool's Day joke.
Let's hope it doesn't become a reality, but looking again today's day and age, you don't know.
Yeah, all right then. And since you are a self-confessed keto queen, a keto meal that you can eat forever?
Meat. I can... it's very hard. I'm sorry, but it's very hard for me to be a vegetarian. I try, but yeah.
No holds barred. Come as they are, and here she is. All right. Your current queer crush?
Queer crush to nahi hai. I am what do you say? Golden star lesbian. You know, like we fall for straight women. Crushes हमारे straight women के लिए अच्छे रहते हैं. I think I'm still a big Katrina Kaif fan, so that crush is still very much alive.
Okay, all right. And if you could add one rule to the world, what would it be?
Teach empathy. I mean, I think I don't know. I'm a big fan of empathy. So if one has to, I think it is if one could set a rule, it would be like every morning have a daily empathy reminder, because I also believe that it is something that you have to check in every day. It's not an innate quality,
Yeah.
you have to remind yourself. So yeah, one rule would be that.
Like just be empathetic. Yeah.
I mean, to yourself also. It's not
yeah,
खुद के साथ होगे तो दूसरों को दोगे.
बिल्कुल,
I also
absolutely.
believe कि वो plane में कैसे बोलते हैं ना, वो oxygen mask गिरता है, पहले खुद सांस ले लो, फिर तुम दूसरों को दो.
बिल्कुल.
So it's the same thing here.
All right, okay. A queer creator that everyone must follow.
I think all of our fashion influencers, I think they are fun. They are so much fun. There's Deep, there's Shantanu. I mean, all of them create really fun stuff.
Okay.
And again, very informational stuff if you're into makeup and dressing and fashion. But I think queer fashion influencers are cool.
All right, okay. And one thing you wish people would stop romanticizing about?
Well, I think this is also a lot to do with straight people, is that stop romanticizing about queer sadness. You know, कि हमारी life दुखी हारी है and all that type. So मतलब ठीक है, but we also find joys in our own ways, you know. So not be so if you're like if you're a straight filmmaker who wants to cover queer stories, you can actually make a fun, happy queer story also.
Totally.
You don't have to romanticize the idea that our life is doomed.
Miserable.
And we need a savior all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that part.
Nice. Nicely said, that one. And this was a lot of fun, Sakshi.
Thank you so much.
Quite the eye-opener. More power to you for all the work that you do at Gaysi. And yeah, I think just a matter of time before we have a lot more queer-led organizations for queer people.
Yes, and we'll do ours part 2 when I enter politics.
Yes, absolutely.
ठीक है.
Waiting in line for that one. मैं कह रही हूँ मैदान में उतर ही जाओ तुम.
For sure, I have one vote anyways.
Bakra is nicely primed. Thank you, Sakshi. What an absolutely enlightening and empowering conversation this was. Thank you for holding space, creating space, and being the space for thousands of queer folks. Continue doing the good work that you do. Wishing Gaysi lots of happy milestones and laurels in the years to come. Yet another honest and fearless episode from InControversial. Signing out for now till we meet again. Please do comment, share and subscribe. It really means so much. Thank you.